What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Professor Anime, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, guys, I am here to bring you all my review of Star Exorcist Episode 2. So let's get this started. So in this episode, nothing much happened. However, there are at least two things worth mentioning within this episode. And that is, it seems that Binio, the girl in Star Exorcist, the main female heroine, it seems that she has a familiar known as Kinako. We don't really know what Kinako is going to be used for, but at the moment, you know, he is just kind of there. We just kind of get introduced to him, and yeah. Oh yeah, and before we actually get to the other main topic that was worth mentioning within this episode, there was also one more thing I want to mention, and that was the beginning of this episode when Binio and Rakugo are in the world of Mundo. Now, if we remember in episode 1, Binio was fighting off that big monster, and there was those two little kids that were stuck inside the world. We have it to where Binio is ended up fighting off the monster and Rakugo is protecting the children. However, Binio can't seem to take down this creature, so then Rakugo goes ahead and takes it down. However, where were the children in this episode? I highly doubt that, you know, they kind of just said, yo, get out of the world of Mundo by using this talisman or whatever. I mean, what? Did he give him a talisman in the last episode? I don't know. I'm just a little bit confused on that because it seems like they disregarded, you know, the children within this episode. I was like, what happened to the children? But I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below, because it seemed that they completely disregarded the children when it came to this episode, unless in the previous episode, you know, they ended up giving the children a talisman to actually use. But then again, only exorcists should be able to use talismans. Now to the main topic of this episode. So we end up meeting a character named Arima, and I can already tell you, I have a feeling that Arima is not all who he makes out to be. I mean, even, you know, in this episode, we had it to where, you know, he was giving a few evil glances, and it seems like he has some evil intent. And I'm just gonna say this now, okay? If I know my shonen, you know, then I have a feeling that this head of the Exorcist is actually the one that is causing the Kagare to wreak havoc in the world of Mundo and possibly end up, you know, making the Kagare come into the human world and wreak havoc as well. We don't know. But I can definitely tell you that this Anima character is not who he is all made out to be. Now, Arima also announces that Binio and Rakugo are the Star Exorcists. What are the Star Exorcists? The Star Exorcists are basically the most powerful exorcists there are at this moment given in time. And the Star Exorcists are supposed to get married and have a child to bring forth the ultimate weapon, the ultimate exorcist of all time. Pretty much like the savior of humanity, if you will. And this thing is called the Miko. Now, this is going to be sort of interesting, okay? Because you would think that the Miko was actually someone else to come forth later down the line in later episodes to come. But apparently this is actually going to be the child of the Star Exorcist. But, you know, I just find this really weird, because we have it to where these two 14-year-olds just met each other, and then now we have it to where they're apparently going to get married and have a child. And we have an adult basically saying all this. I mean, wouldn't you be a little put off by this? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being too analytical about this series. When it comes to the fight between Binio and Rakugo, that fight was pretty badass. It was pretty cool. Now, when it comes to the animation within that fight, and also the animation throughout the entirety of this episode, the animation, I will say this, that it did end up dropping quite a bit at some points. Not throughout the whole episode, but at some points. Now, this is an anime animated by Studio Period, so we can expect this, because they are infamous for having decent level animation. You know, sometimes they are very good and sometimes they are very bad, and usually Studio Pierrot has a good first episode because that is where they show off all of their animation quality within that one episode just to get the viewers' attention, you know, and that is what we saw in episode 1 of Twin Star Exorcist. I really didn't notice that many animation drops within the first episode. The animation level is pretty average, but there wasn't really many drops. However, in this episode, we did kind of see a few drops. You know, I'm not going to bash on the animation like I said, but, you know, it would help if they could, you know, at least try not to, you know, make this go on for future episodes to come. We also get to see the opening and the ending within this episode of Twin Star Exorcist, and I gotta say, out of the two, I think the opening really stands out for me. I actually really enjoyed the opening, and when it comes to this episode in general, I really did enjoy this episode as well. However, I will say, as my personal feelings as this series as a whole goes, as of right now, you know, it's average to me. It's your typical shonen that you will see now and then. But, you know, just because that's my opinion, you might have a different opinion, and you might actually really enjoy this episode. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on what you thought about this episode of Twin Star Exorcist. And, do you think there is something suspicious about that Anima character? Because he looks very suspicious. Manga readers, please no spoilers. You know, I don't want to be spoiled, and I don't want others to be spoiled as well. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And, of course, if you like this video, don't forget to drop a like. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you want to stick up to date with future content on this channel, please hit the red subscribe button below, and you will never miss a video from me. That about does it for this video, guys. Love you all, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.